guys, and welcome to my April favourites video. For me, this is a really special video to film because I realised the other day that actually my very first YouTube video was my April favourites last year, and that actually blows my mind a little bit because whenever anybody says to me, oh, how long have you been doing YouTube? I always say, oh, 6 months, 8 months, but it's been a year, and that is actually quite ridiculous. But it's really nice to see how things have changed over a year, and yeah, I can't quite believe that a year has gone by. It's actually very scary. If you do want a good giggle, then I'll leave a link to my very first April favourites down below, but it's fairly embarrassing, so maybe just don't do that. So if you follow me on Snapchat or you just watch my YouTube channel, then you'll probably know that for about 80% of this month I have been travelling. I've been in South Africa, which was one of the greatest holidays that I've ever been on. Charlie and I went away for 15 days. Kudos to Charlie because he organised 90% of that holiday. We stayed in the most beautiful hotels, we ate at the most incredible restaurants. So a lot of my favourites are things that I either did in South Africa or that I took with me or bought along the way. So there's going to be a slight running theme along the whole South Africa lines for this video. Something that is completely unrelated to South Africa, aside from the fact that I took it with me though, is my very first favourite, and it is this beauty right over here. So I shouldn't really feel the need to justify this, but I'm going to anyway. This is a Valentino handbag. It was quite a splurge for me, and I know I do haul videos all the time, so I feel like such a dingbat saying this, but I really don't actually buy that much. My last designer handbag that I purchased was a Mulberry Cecily bag, the one, is it called Cecily? With the daisy and then it has a scalloped edge. I think it's called a Cecily bag, but I purchased that using my staff discount when I worked at Mulberry 2 years ago, and that was my last designer handbag purchase. So I felt that the time had come to treat myself again, and I'd been looking at this one for quite a long time. I kept walking past it in Selfridges after having meetings there. I just love these colours. You guys know that I love my pinks, my corals, especially this time of year, and my rose gold. And to me, Valentino is actually quite a special brand because my very first ever designer purchase was my Valentino Roxton shoes, which I still love to death, and I don't think I've featured them in a favourites video, but I do wear them an awful lot. If you follow me on Snapchat, you're probably bored to death with my view from aboves, but they were a very special purchase that I treated myself to for my graduation. And this, of course, is the same brand. It has the rock studs as well, so it goes with my shoes beautifully, and I absolutely love it. It was pricey. I'll leave a link below if you want to see how much it was. And I just think it's worth every penny. It's gonna be this kind of bag that I use year after year after year. I did buy this bag as a treat to myself. I haven't really splurged, as I said, in quite a long time. And yeah, I just thought it was about time that I spent a little bit of money on myself, and I'm just so glad I did. I absolutely love this bag, and you're gonna be seeing a lot of this over the coming months. So I apologise in advance for upcoming bag spam. My next favourite is very much South Africa related, and it is this I'm Busy hat. Now, I wore this so much while I was out there, got so many comments from people in the hotel or on the beach, and to be honest, it just summed up my whole time in South Africa. I just really wanted to switch off from the world, have a bit of a digital detox. I did a little bit of work in the mornings just so that I wasn't stressed and worrying about emails during the day, and then I set my out of office, which was so blissful, and told the world I'm busy, which is what this hat says on it. And I actually purchased this hat after seeing one that says wish you were here or going offline, or maybe both, on Rosie Londoner's Instagram. I looked at that hat and I believe it was around the £300 mark from, I want to say Tommy Hilfiger, but it's not. It's a brand that I've not heard of before on Net-a-Porter, but close to £300, which is out of my budget when it comes to summer hats. So I saw this one for, I think it was 18 or 20 pounds, and I snapped it up in an instant. Absolutely love it, and I'll be taking this on my upcoming trips. Next, I have a perfume, and this has actually only been in my life for about a week now, and it's a brand called Clean Reserve, which I've never ever heard of before, and the fragrance is called Sueded Oud, which sounds like a grammatical error in my opinion. I don't think sueded is actually a word, but I had not heard of this brand before, so I wasn't really expecting to be so impacted by it, but that very first spray, I just knew I was in love and I was going to be wearing this for the rest of spring, summer, and probably for the rest of the year. It's, okay, I'm going to attempt to explain what this smells like, but we all know that I'm not very good at that. It's a very woody, oudy, kind of Tom Fordy type fragrance. It's very familiar and warming if you really like those kind of, it's not floral in the slightest. I do love florals, but it's not floral, it's not sweet, it's just very warm, very relaxing, musky. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So if you like things like just those kind of spicy, almost Arabic oudi fragrances, then you will absolutely love this. I'm obsessed with it. The packaging is gorgeous, very sleek in this glass bottle with a wooden lid. I just love everything about this. Along similar lines, also kind of a fragrance, is this, and this is the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess Shimmering Body Oil Spray. Now, I used this on an everyday basis while I was in South Africa, in the afternoons when it's kind of sunset cocktail time, and also in the evenings. So what this is a body spray which has little particles of glitter in it, but not like tacky classic accessories kind of glitter, but more very subtle, just tiny flecks of glitter that just give a lovely glow to the skin. And it also has the smell of Bronze Goddess. So it just made my limbs look really sheeny and shiny on holiday, and also had that gorgeous scent. And I took this one in particular because of the really dinky bottle size. This one doesn't actually say how many mil it is, but it's definitely under 100 mil. So if I was going away for the weekend, which I am actually doing in a few weeks, I'm going away for just a couple of nights, I will definitely be able to take this in my hand luggage, which is a bonus. Next, a few beauty items, and this one really took me by surprise. This is the new NARS Laguna bronzer in the liquid form, and if you watch any of my makeup tutorials, you know that I'm not that familiar with liquid bronzers, liquid blushes. I just prefer powder. I'm just a powder kind of girl. But I actually watched Alex from My Covet Thee doing a first impressions of this. I'll leave her video down below because that's what really inspired me to try this out in a different way to what I had originally planned. So what I have discovered that I can do with this, and the way that I've fallen in love with it, is actually by mixing it in with my foundations. So as I got a little tiny bit of a tan in South Africa, a few of my foundations were getting too pale for me. So what I did to darken them was just add a couple of drops of this in, which took the shade down, or up, whichever way you think about it, a few levels, and it made my foundation a perfect match. I have also been using this as it's intended, as a bronzer, using my Zoeva 102 Silk Finish brush, and it's really good for being quite selective with your bronzer. So if you want to give a really natural sun-kissed look on the top of your forehead, I used it a little bit today on my cheekbones, then this is the one. And it is, of course, that beautiful Laguna shade, which we all know and love. I don't actually have too many makeup favourites this month because when I packed for South Africa, I took things that I already knew that I loved, so I wasn't trying out too much. But one thing which I discovered at the beginning of the month and immediately made its way into my travel makeup bag are these two new lipsticks from Burberry, and I believe they're called the Full Kisses. Yes, Burberry Full Kisses, and I have the shade Nude and the shade English Rose, both of which are just absolutely stunning colours and incredibly easy to wear. The Nude has become like an everyday colour, but what I love about these is that they're so moisturising. Don't get me wrong, I still love my Tom Ford First Time, that's what I'm wearing today, but it is quite matte, so on those days when my lips just can't deal with the matte lipstick, I put these on. They're so hydrating, and the colour, I'll do some close-ups now of the colours of these, so stunning, so comfortable to wear, and I'd say about 6 hours of beautiful colour and comfortable wear on my lips. Next up is a product which I have used twice this month, and it has become an emergency SOS product for my hair. So I'm really not sure if you can tell colour-wise on this camera, but I actually used this last night and it has become an absolute saviour for those days or times when my hair is just starting to go a little bit yellowy or coppery. So as you guys might know, I do colour my hair. My natural colour is a lot darker than this blonde, and regular colouring means that my hair conditioners, it's not bad at all, but it's definitely not as good as it could be. And also, after maybe 3 or 4 weeks after my colouring appointment, my hair does tend to go quite golden, quite coppery, which I really don't like. I prefer a much more almost white, almost grey, ashy blonde. And this has become the product that I rely on for getting that colour back in between appointments to the hairdresser. And it's the E-Salon Devoted to Hue Colour Enhancing Mask, and it's called the Blonde Neutralizer. It says reduces warm tones, enhances vibrancy and shine, and conditions and hydrates. I have to say, other masks that I have do condition and hydrate more than this, so I do use other masks as well, but when it comes to stripping out any kind of warmth, any kind of yellow or orange or copper in my my hair, this is the one. It's bright, bright, bright purple, and I have to say I do use an awful lot of it at a time. This is only 2 uses, so I think I'll probably get maximum 4 uses out of this. But having said that, I do have a lot of hair and I do plaster it on because when I want something to work, I just put loads on in the hope that that'll make it work quicker. Maybe next time I'll try using a smaller amount to let you know if it still works just as much, because it could be quite an expensive habit. But this works so well if you are concerned about your blonde hair going coppery, then I highly recommend this. A few final things that are both completely unrelated to each other in any way at all. Second to last is biltong. So if anybody has been to South Africa, you will know that biltong is just a way of life out of there, or a part of life I should say. It is so yummy, unless you're a vegetarian. If you don't know what biltong is, it's basically, okay, I really hope I don't get this wrong. It's beef which has been air dried, and then they add different spices and herbs to it to give it the most amazing taste in the entire world. This one is Bosveld flavour. I have no idea what it means, but we have had already another packet of this and it is delicious. If you're a meat lover, if you like things like salami, dried meats, then you would love biltong. So my diet over the past 2 weeks has consisted 90% of biltong, and I freaking love this stuff. In fact, if anyone's going to South Africa and can bring me back some more, then please let me know, because this ain't gonna last long. An absolutely last product, I promise, and it is this coat from Zara. I will show you a clip of me wearing it because I appreciate that me showing it to you here is really not going to do the trick, but this is such a good example of how a last minute real impulse purchase just proved to be such a good one, because I actually picked this up in the airport on the way to South Africa. I was wearing a leather jacket to travel, just wanted something a little bit more comfortable. Saw this in Zara and I was like, that is so me. That is the kind of thing that I'll wear all spring and summer. It's a very lightweight fabric, but it does have a lining, so it gives a really lovely shape and structure. It's quite a boxy silhouette. It doesn't really have any kind of, what's the word, waistline, and it does have little pockets as well. It's got beautiful frayed sleeves, this almost kind of tweedy material which could be a little bit Chanel-y, and it's beige, which means it goes with 99% of my wardrobe, although ironically it doesn't go with what I'm wearing today because I'm wearing white and grey. Beige and white, not really the one. But this was, I think, £69, but I didn't pay the VAT because I got it in the airport, and I wore it so much in South Africa. It was a little bit cooler in the evenings that I was than I thought it would be, so this was just so handy, and it just looked absolutely beautiful with all my outfits and with my Valentino handbag, which is the most important thing. So that is everything. Those are my April favourites. I feel like there wasn't quite as many as I normally would talk about, but as I said, that's because of South Africa. I was living out of 2 suitcases for most of the month. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do let me know in the comments what your favourite things were this month, because I would love to know, and I feel like I've kind of missed a bit of the whole beauty launches scene while I've been away, so let me know if you've got any particular new favourite beauty launches, because I have lots of catching up to do when it comes to beauty. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you are not subscribed to my channel, it would mean a lot to me if you would hit that little red button. I will leave a link down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!